These are the top 5 Middle Eastern fragrances that, in my personal opinion, are chronically underrated. I don't understand why more people are not talking about these scents because they are truly exceptional, very affordable, and they are still very much under the radar. So if you're interested in discovering some top-notch fragrances that are also very affordable and happen to be Middle Eastern, definitely keep on watching. But if this is your first time, hello, welcome. My name is Anya. I love fragrances and I talk about fragrances on this channel every single Wednesday, along with a ton of bonus content in between. So if you're interested, definitely keep on watching. Let's start off with Sature. This is a Lattafa fragrance, and oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I love the jeweled cap. It's such like an interesting perfume. I really love this one. So if you happen to be drawn to boozy peach fragrances, this is most certainly one to try. It has top notes of peach, cardamom, blood orange, heliotrope, and then it settles into a lot of booziness with rum notes, brandy, a bit of aromatic as well. So it's not like your overtly sweet and syrupy fragrance. There's something else to it. If you like sandalwood, this is also a fragrance to consider. It's such an interesting and delicious perfume. I don't know why more people don't talk about this one. I think this is one of my favorite iterations of peach from Middle Eastern fragrances that I have found. It's so interesting and magnetic. And I remember when this fragrance was first available, it wasn't available in the US. In fact, a lot of fragrances, not only Middle Eastern fragrances, but a lot of fragrances are available elsewhere before they're available in the US. But I remember when this fragrance first came on the scene, I think it was I was watching a South African creator, and she was talking about this fragrance and talking about how good it was, and I was trying to find it here in the US and I couldn't. And then it appeared on Amazon, and I was absolutely so interested in purchasing it, and I did, and I'm so glad I did because it is like a velvety peach. It's not too syrupy. It's excellent. I really love this perfume. It's such a pretty fragrance, a perfect boozy peach perfume that also happens to be very affordable. And I don't understand why more people don't talk about this. So yes, if you're interested in sweet and juicy, fruity fragrances, particularly peach, this is one to try. It's such a beautiful gourmand perfume. In my opinion, it doesn't smell artificial in the slightest. It just smells like a beautiful peach fragrance. That's a very boozy perfume, but not too much. So, Sature by Lattafa. This next perfume is so under the radar that I do believe I was the first person to talk about it on YouTube and on TikTok. I might be wrong, but I couldn't find any reviews when I was trying to purchase this fragrance. This is Rasasi Hawas for her. So they have the for him version, which gets a lot of press and attention. This one, though, is definitely more under the radar, and I absolutely do not understand why. This is a really pretty fragrance, especially if you love iris patchouli, like a fruity patchouli perfume. So it has top notes of apple, pomegranate, grapefruit, a mid of jasmine, iris, and citruses. And then in the base you have praline, vetiver, and patchouli. This, to me, smells like a more refined version of La Vie Belle. I'm not saying they're dupes because clearly the scent pyramid and the notes in this perfume, it's very different. But the way the patchouli is done, to me, is reminiscent of La Vie Belle. But this is, in my mind, a lighter, zestier version of that fragrance. La Vie Belle, to me, I understand why it's so hyped. I understand why a lot of people love it. To me, personally, it's just a little bit too sweet. This takes the La Vie Belle DNA. I mean, I don't even know if they meant to duplicate it, but it's not a duplicate. In my mind, it's very different. But this takes that kind of like scent profile and adds in the iris, the citruses, the fruits, and makes it more complex and more palatable. So I personally really love this scent. And because of the similarity to the La Vie Belle scent profile, I'm very confused as to why this scent isn't talked about that much. I do believe it came out in 2015. so that might be a reason. It's a little bit of an older release, but I think this was the very first Middle Eastern perfume I ever tried, and this was mind-blowing to me because I could not understand why this perfume, which was around $50 at the time, and I think it still is, was, to my mind, even better than so many designer fragrances that I was familiar with at the time. So Hawas Perfume, such a gorgeous scent. It's a beautiful, fruity, patchouli, praline perfume with zesty citruses. This is such a gorgeous scent. Next, we have another patchouli scent, this time in the form of Velvet Rose by Lattafa. This is a gorgeous floral, musky fragrance with a patchouli base. It also has a note of labdanum. This comes off as a very fizzy interpretation of the rose note. It's very effervescent, almost champagne-like. It does turn jammy, so if you're interested in rose but you want a lighter, more ephemeral version, this is such an elegant scent. It's very pretty, but it's not too heavy. It's a wonderful scent to wear when you just want something that's a little bit lighter, but you still want that floral aspect. It's quite a complex perfume. It's very unusual. I don't think I've ever smelled anything like this one. And I still don't understand why more people don't talk about it, because it's a very palatable rose. Sometimes rose can lean a little bit too fruity. This one doesn't do that. It's a very light and champagne burst of rose that is so delicious. Absolutely beautiful. I love this fragrance. Velvet Rose, you can tell how much I love it. I have spoken about this many times in the past, but I want to include it in this video because I've recognized that a lot of people don't even know that this one exists. And I do not understand why. It's so affordable and yet so stunning. Velvet Rose by Lattafa. Next up is one of the most versatile fragrances in my collection. This is Modest Deux by Afnan. And what I like about this one is it's very versatile, yes, but it's wonderful if you love gourmand notes, but you don't want something that's super hyper-realistic gourmand. This is great. Actually, when I first started wearing this fragrance, I really loved it because I would really gravitate towards gourmand perfumes, but sometimes I would want a gourmand fragrance that wasn't so hyper-realistically gourmand, and I would instantly lean for this. It's a fruity patchouli scent. Yes, there's a lot of patchouli in this video. I'm just now realizing this, but it's a fruity patchouli scent with strawberry, cherry. It's so much fun. It's an elegant perfume nonetheless. It's a fragrance that you can wear to the office, and you can also wear it, well, honestly, wherever you want, because it's that versatile and it's a very magnetic scent. It's very delicious. It's very delicious. I do believe there's also sandalwood in here as well. It's a sweet fragrance, but not too sweet. Like I said, very versatile, a moderate performer, not overpowering, but it will stay with you throughout the day. So, Modest Deux by Afnan, again, such an underrated gem. This is my go-to fragrance, I would say. Like, this is my go-to fragrance if I had to recommend a scent that's very versatile, that's very affordable, and you can wear it out of the office, in the office. It's lovely. So, Modest Deux by Afnan. Next up, we have Alia by, I can never pronounce this, Wataniyah. I had never heard of this fragrance before until I was on on Fragrantica, and I was looking at Middle Eastern fragrances, and I came across this one, and I was like, let me see what this smells like. Let me see what people are saying about this. And I was absolutely drawn in by the fact that this was a date perfume, a perfume with the notes of dates, because it's kind of difficult. I mean, in my experience, it's been a little bit tricky to find a photorealistic date perfume that focuses on the date note in a very photorealistic way that also happens to be affordable. But this fragrance is that for me. So it has dates, it has notes of raspberry as well. And it also has a rather prominent pineapple note, so it's a very zesty, fruity fragrance. I really love it. It also leans slightly aromatic as well, with there's a scent here that's, yeah, it's a little bit aromatic. I don't know if it's some fir scent or I don't know, but it's a really pretty date fragrance. And I recently smelled this again because I've been going through a lot of fragrances and I kind of like left this on the back burner. I smelled it and I was like, holy crap, why have I not used this fragrance more? Because it's such a good, decadent, fruity perfume. So I think that I truly believe that if more people try this fragrance, they would absolutely love it. And I don't understand why more people don't talk about this one. But Alia is such a gorgeous scent, and it's also very affordable. All these fragrances are $50 or less, I'm pretty sure. This one is certainly no exception. So if you're interested in a fruity date fragrance, and you also tend to like the notes of raspberry, strawberry, pineapple, this is most certainly one to consider. It's a moderate performer. It stays on the skin for quite a long time, but the sillage doesn't last as long. But I don't mind that. I think it's a gorgeous fragrance and a terrific yet underrated option if you want a Middle Eastern perfume. Alright, so those are all the fragrances I want to mention today. 5 underrated gems that I absolutely think should get more hype on the internet. I hope this was useful to you and I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.